Shalom, 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 laha alahayim. Peace to the gods. It's Brother Tazapanya Banyamyan of the Sons of Yasha Allah camp out here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rucha HaKodash. Double honors into the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the head elders of the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect scattered abroad. All right. As you see in the topic, well, first, as you see in the thumbnail, if y'all click in, all right, the tweet that Kyrie made, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it's recent, all right, because, you know, we big on the current events. Why? Because Yahushua said to watch and pray, and we're not supposed to be ignorant of a great matter or a small matter. Okay, so I got some precepts lined up, all right, because as you can see, you know, in Shalom, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yashab Rakatam, all right, Kal Akim Wa Akwath, okay, peace to all brothers and the sisters, man, all right, we're gonna get into it. So as you see in the topic, right, what's the name? Political correctness is effeminate. And that's a deep statement. That's a bold statement to make, right? But it is what it is, man. So, because if you look up the term political correctness, and honestly, my mother was in the military, and I remember for the first time really hearing PC right after the Twin Towers fell, and it was a big thing in the early to mid 2000s, and then it kind of slowed up a little bit. All right, but for the main point, political correctness kind of led to this whole, even with the alphabet mafia, the pronouns and the this and that and the third, all right, because, you know, political has to do with, you know, your government, temperature, environment, what's going on like that, and correctness, you see what I'm saying, on what is accepted, all right, by the authority of your so-called government, right? So saying that it's effeminate, and I'm going to prove it in the scriptures, because you trying to cooperate, so to speak, with the image of the beast and how they want things to be done, all right, shows the fearful spirit, which we're not supposed to have, right, of a so-called, you know, man, since we're talking about men here, all right, compared to the type of worship you're supposed to have for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, so I'm going to start up right here, Jeremiah chapter 1. I'm driving right now, so bear with me. Almost to my destination, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 17, and it reads, "Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise and speak unto them all that I command thee." See, so if the Most High gives you some words to speak that he commands you to speak, and you're supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? You're not supposed to shape it or alter it in a certain type of way in order to be politically correct here in Babylon the Great. You know? It says, "Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them." You see? And you got Kyrie right now, all right, that is being dismayed by their faces because they're screwing up their face. They giving him the ice, they ice grilling him. You know, they turning up their face. Like, nah, I don't like what you're saying. That's that anti-you-know-what, right? And you ain't supposed to be in that type of spirit trying to pervert and contort, all right, this truth, man. This truth is raw and direct. You know what I mean? So let's continue to move on. All right. So the Most High said to Jeremiah, "Lest I confound thee." Right. So a lot of these so-called false prophets and false, because you starting to see people of high stature with a lot of money, they're starting to look like false messiahs, false anointeds. Because your false prophets would be, you know, your Israelites out here that's saying something that is, you know, not going to come. Like, basically, because we like to always bring out here in the Sons of Yasha Allah camp, all right, the MOTB is the RFID, man. All right. But if you saying it's not this, it's sin, it's embargo, it's sleeping with white women, it's da 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 da, you're a false prophet. But the false anointings is the ones that's like somehow bringing out new information as if they could, they're the front runners of the revolutionary movement for these so-called black people. Like the Mossad is dealing with, he's not dealing with black people. He's dealing with Israelites, and specifically the elected Israel that and Native Americans is amongst other nations. All right. So let's continue to go on. This is a big one right here. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 15. And it reads, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." You see? So they ain't no, when we bring out this truth, ain't nothing that they could do with it. It's truth, man. Ain't no point of debating. Ain't no point of retracting information. Ain't no point of apologizing. Ain't no point of being politically correct. The Most High gave us this mouth and wisdom. We ain't going to switch it up for nobody. Why? Because we're going to get into it. Verse 16. "And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death." So what type of message or gospel, good news are you putting out there? So notice, right? Gospel means good news. However, the news might get you put to death. So if you're politically correct, that means you're trying to stay neutral with everything. That ain't because an Apostle Kabal always says a lot of the times, man, good news might be bad news to some. You got to put this thing in perspective, man. So this whole PC, that's how you know this ain't for the high, right? He made the gospel. So I guess the video just went out. Verse 17. All right. Hopefully y'all can still hear me out there. It says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake," man. You know what I mean? So we talking everybody. There's a reason why they don't want to put certain groups out there in the forefront of the media, right? Because it's going to change the whole narrative, man. All right, because they can't be able to gainsay nor resist it. All right, so hated of all men. All see, and then when you trying to be PC, you're not trying to be hated by all men, right? You trying to be all faith, because Kyrie is in that spirit. I welcome all faiths. And when where in the scriptures does it say that? You welcome all faiths and religions, and I'm not here to bash any. Nah, who do you think the prophets is doing? They've been set up, all right, to tear down kingdoms and kings and rulers and all of this type of stuff. So what are you saying? Yeah, we bashing of Babylon. We bashing the wicked, Esau, Edom. We bashing the wicked of our own people, the 2/3, because that's how the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua set it up. You know what I mean? No, and see, that's why Yahweh said, "Gird up thy loins, man." You know what I mean? You ain't got no balls, man. Not to, but it is what it is. A man have, like they say in the world, or was it Scarface? You know, uh, only got two things, man: his word and his balls, man. You see what I'm saying? The balls is the biological sense of us being a man, meaning there's an order and we're above on this earthly realm. The only one that is above us is Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, right? And our word, because it ain't us that speak, he gives us a mouth and wisdom that no man might able to gainsay, no resist. So we got to be men of our word, man. So we can't be hypocritical with this thing. And PC, political correctness, all right, is effeminate, man. All right, continue on, verse 18. "But there shall not a hair on your head perish." So you got to have faith that, hey, this is the truth right here. And the Most High, and of course we know, like I always, bring out, that if it's your lot, to go into concentration camps or give your head for this truth, it is what it is. All right, but that's only some, that everybody ain't gonna go through that. But either way, The Most High going to protect us, man. All right. Verse 19, in your patience possess ye your souls. You see, patience is long suffering. All right. So, like some brothers said, I think it was Thrumar Johnson, Dr. Thrumar. He was like, yo, he wished Kyrie would have just held out a little longer. See, and you got to be patient with this thing. The persecution come and you quick to delete tweets or to apologize for this. Nah, man, we got the truth. We hope we endure into the end. We'll be hated for all men's sake. See, and the elders and the apostles, they've been hated for even of their own people, even the people in the truth, for a long period of time. All right, and I could go into that, but that's off topic right there of the doctrines that they so-called been hated for. Y'all know. All right. Let's continue on. This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 5, and it reads, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Who's the rebellious house? The house of Israel. These so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. I mean, you can't see it. Our people is rebellion. Rebellion is a sin, is witchcraft. And the scriptures say, suffer not a witch to live. So what you think the Most High going to do to these rebellious people, man, that don't want to obey? Yeah, all right. Yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. See, just like in Ezekiel 33. All right. And lo, they shall know that a prophet has been among them, man. Because these prophecies is going to come to pass. All right. And it's a lot of talk, right? But it ain't a lot of prophecies being talked about. All right. Verse 6, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them. Whoa. For the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Where's the sound mind? Where's the power, man? Where's the, hey, I ain't scared of y'all. I ain't backing down. Right? Even if you felt like you was by yourself. Like, look at Elijah. Right? It's like, yo, I'm the only one out here. And you don't even know that 7,000, roughly, which means a number of completion, is there with you that's not bowing down to all too, man. All right? So whether you doing this by yourself, you really not by yourself. You know what I mean? But even if it looks like that, you got to keep it going. Whatever. I'm by myself, but the Most High is with me. You see? That's why you ain't dealing with these so-called wealthy people with these Federal Reserve, these monopoly money, which is about to crash anyway. If you're looking at the shit, the crypto market is down. Stock market is the biggest. How many niggas work for Amazon? New York Times 20 minutes ago, the brother about Baquar Math posted, and I looked it up, researched it, because that's what we do. Seen the article, same shit, man. Layoffs coming from Amazon. You see what I'm saying? And how many Amazon hire everybody? This place is through, man. Verse 6. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. See, they're gonna talk breezy. And a lot of it ain't action. We know eventually there's gonna be action that come about, but for the most part, man, they just talking, man. They might talk a good game, a good one, or you talk a good one, that's Jake, yo, you talk a good one. You know what I mean? Let's continue going, right? And it reads, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Right? Your so-called Shaquille O'Neal, your Charles Chuck E. Cheese Barkley, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, and so on and so forth. Right? And thou shalt speak my words unto them. You see, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. So all of that trying to be politically correct, and what is his words, man? All right, even though we know Revelation 2:9 on the deep level, all right, is really talking about wicked Israelites. All right, we can use it, all right, through Deuteronomy, how the curses shall go upon them enemies for these small hats, man. All right, they're not the people, man. That's part of the gospel. Us remembering ourselves in our captivities. That means we forgot. All right, so you think they forgot who they was? No, because they don't match the curses, man. All right. Verse 8, but thou, son of man, hear what I shall say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. You see? So don't rebel, man. Be obedient. Open thy mouth and eat what I give thee. right? And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, right? And that hand really is representative of the right hand, Yahweh Shai, right? Through the angels, which is the Holy Spirit, because Yahweh Shai said, I'll send down the Comforter unto you. And lo, a roll of a book was therein, which is what? The scriptures, the whole scriptures, right? The Holy Spirit, the Comforter, I will send down unto you, and it will give you remembrance of all things, man. You see? So what does that mean? That means that when you eat this book, which is the unlocking, all right, of this knowledge, this truth, man. You know, verse 10, and I spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations, mournings, and woe. So political correctness is not lamentations, mournings, and woe, man. All right? This good news is good news to the elect and bad news to everybody else when you put it like that. All right? Because they're a rebellious house. 2/3 of the sons of God cut off out of the land. Y'all be good in your right mind in the kingdom. These heathen nations, slavery. Sons of men. Sons of the wicked, slavery. And after 1,000 years, Obadiah 1:18. All right? Continuing on. All right? Now we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. You see? For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to teach the right things. They don't want to listen unto the Most High through his prophets. All right? You got to go through the tutelage, like the Apostle Tahar say, of the true elders of all Israel, which is Apostle Tahar on down. All right? Verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High made us, which is going to say in verse 9, right? I'll read it. As an adamant, harder than flint, have I made thy forehead. You know, fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. If you look at the brothers at camp, whoever holding posts or whatever, or listening to or doing the reading, they'll be like this. Adamant, like ready. They at the battlefield. They got their game face on. You see what I'm saying? We prepared through the spirit, man. Ain't nobody gonna come against us because we got the truth. This is the altar of the Lord, man. You know what I mean? We pushing out the word of the Lord. All right? Y'all can say all y'all want, all right? But we know that the Most High is dealing with us, Lord willing, that we have the hope for elect of that number. Continuing on, I was going to run through it. I only got a couple more left. All right, so here's the point. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? See? So what's unrighteous? It's going to say, be not deceived. You see? Remember, the elect ain't going to be deceived. Miracles shall have, but that even the elect, if it were possible, shall be deceived. So a part of this thing is all deception. You have to see what's going on. More and more, you're starting to see, under the 501c3 with IURC, they're located through the government in the records as an Islamic group. Oh, Kyrie linked up with Rizza Islam of the NOI. Oh, you know, Islamic since '01 has been connected to terrorism. Oh, we know the scriptures say they're going to come down with great wrath to the true people. And in second Ezra, it says, then shall they know who are my chosen. Oh, you got to see where you got to line up the spirit. Your house, y'all got to be supping with you. How is this thing going to play out? We know in part, we prophesy in part. All right. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. When you look up that word effeminate, it says likened unto feminine nature, man. All right, so there's a difference between feminine and masculine. You a man, you're not supposed to be in your feminine, tapping into your feminine energy. That's off. You know, some real Batiman thing that. You know, so what you got to do, right? You got to be girding up your loins like a man. We just read it. He said it to Job as well. Did I have that in the bookmarks? No, I didn't, but I'll just paraphrase it. He said, gird up thy loins like a man, arise and speak ye unto me. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Because when you know, which we're going to get into in Hebrews and in Ephesians, those that are supposed to be speaking boldly out there and presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice are the men. You see what I'm saying? So if you out here being politically correct, That's not speaking boldly and putting yourself out there, bearing your cross, exposure to death, man. You see what I'm saying? You in the crib with your woman, you know, and your children or whatever, right? And a robber come in, you know what I mean? What you gonna do? You gonna get up and expose yourself to death? That you willing to do whatever it takes to you know, protect your family, man. That's masculine. So it's the same thing with this, man. This truth that has been given unto us, this faith that has been given unto us, we gonna ride with it. Wisdom in the Greek is Sophia, man. It's likened unto or personified, you know, of a feminine energy, so to speak, because it's in full submission unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, like the woman is supposed to do unto their man. Same thing with us being symbolic to a woman, the church, right? The elect of Israel to Yahweh Shai. Anything Yahweh Shai say we do, yes, Lord, with our heads bowed down, spiritually speaking. You know, continuing on, right? Well, and I'll just finish it. Nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. All right? Continuing on, this is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6, and it reads, so that we may boldly say, Yahweh is my helper. I will not fear what man shall do unto me. All right? I'm going to get, that's a good precept too, right there too. I'm going to get that, brother. All right? Yeah, after this, I'm going to bring that out real quick. But, right. Yahweh is our helper, man. You're not going to fear what man do unto us. Being politically correct, you're doing it because you're afraid of what man will do unto you. Oh, he's going to take my finances away. He's going to do this. He's going to do that to me. So I got to, you know, be on the neutral side. Nah, you got to pick a side, man. And we on the right-hand side of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So this is the brother by Thamayim. All right? Psalm chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. See? You see what I'm saying? That fear him. Remember, fear the Lord is beginning of wisdom. So these people don't really fear the Most High, because if that was the case, all right, they'll do what the scriptures say. They'll do what the Holy Spirit say. The word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai say, man. All right? Telling them what the Most High has commanded us to speak, and not caring, making our foreheads hard against theirs. We hard-headed for this truth, man. We just read it in Ezekiel chapter 3. Yo, you hard-headed. You damn right. We fully persuaded in our consciences. Simple as that. We all in. Chips is all in. All right? Last precept, and then we're going to leave it right there, man. Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 19. And for me, see, I don't know about for everybody else. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. See? So the apostles, the evangelists, the prophets, the teachers, all right, the ministers, these are men, primarily speaking, all right, because they're the ones that are hitting the highways and hedges that make known the mystery of the gospel, man. And the only ones that's going to hear it or be obedient to it is the elect anyway. So we're supposed to speak boldly. As we let's verse 20. For which I am an ambassador in bonds. When you in bonds, that means you're in slavery, man. You in shackles. Ambassador is a representative. So we're representatives of Yahweh Shai in shackles, man. You see what I'm saying? And you can't go to Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai chooses you, right? Which was really from Yahweh. Yahweh Shai said, you know, to those that was given unto me, you know, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. You see? We ought to speak like this. So you speaking politically correct is not how you ought to speak. You ought to speak boldly, man. Not caring if people will hear or whether they will forbear. And most of our people is going to forbear. All right? So all of that, oh, everybody and all faiths and all religions and Notice and then anybody that's coming with that abbreviation of the Lord's name, remember, we're supposed to be pushing the Lord's name. That stood stiffly for the Lord, for the name of the Lord. Most High, God, Yah. That's not his name. If that's the case, you got to remember Acts 4:12. For there's one name under heaven, all right, that whereby we might be saved, man. You see what I'm saying? This is why we say Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, because that's the only way to the Father, man. Yahweh Shai is the key, man. He's the door. He's the way. What's the name of the Messiah then? Since you want to call Most High, Most High, Most High. This is why they say in IUIC, the Most High in Christ blessed, man. Which the Most High not dealing with Christ. The Most High is a title because he is the Most High, but that's not his name. All right? Yahweh Shai, man, because he saves. He's going to be the one to redeem us out of our situation. All right? Which is slavery. All right? So ain't no politically correct. You want that PC shit? Go to Ronald Dalton with the Hebrew, the Negroes. Go to all these other camps. All right? We not with the politically correct. That's why we out here, all right? Whether it be, the brothers that's out there individually or with the small camps or with the bigger camps. And even the bigger camps, they chop it up in the smaller ones. You see what I'm saying? To go out there and teach. And they ain't afraid of nobody. But with that, I'm going to say shalom until the next time. Shalom.